Hello everyone, this is Ian, and this is the first round, the quarterfinals of the Hive Beedrill Division season 5. Yeah, season 5. Um uh Sorry, the seasonal video, the weekly video thing didn't work out for the 5 people that do end up watching. But hopefully I will be putting up a season recap right before this, so if it does come through, then at least you can know how we got here. And if it doesn't, well, at least you know we made playoffs. Which we did. We ended up going 7-3, and we ended up in position number 5 out of 16 in the league, which means we placed for very well. We did very well for ourselves, and as you saw throughout the season, we made no changes to the team that was drafted in the beginning of the season. I ended up being very happy with the team. It performed very well. It may not be the most standard team in the world, but it worked for me. And now, with all the introduction stuff out of the way, let's get on to the actual match. We are going to be doing, of course, the team analysis into the team builder into the game, as all 3 of that has actually happened already, and I do not do well with live comms with my current setup. However, since this is playoffs, I will go into a little bit more detail on the team and why I brought what I brought over other Pokemon, and we'll break down the team analysis a little more. So as you see on my team, we still got Celesteela, Nidoqueen, Primarina, Zydog, Rotom M, Rapidash, Megakang, Latias, Tyranitar, Selgor, and Sableye, and taking on the Pittsburgh Magic Guards and Reconjack. Both teams representing Pittsburgh, so either way, Pittsburgh's repping in the semis, which is just fantastic. He has a team of Heatran, Rotom Wash, Roserade, Cloyster, Slurpuff, Spiritomb, Mega Gallade, Gliscor, Kartana, Raikou, and Armaldo. Now, how his team functions seems to be very heavy on setup. And being heavy on setup, like Cloyster, Shell Smash, Belly Drum, Slurpuff, Swords Dance, Mega Gallade, Calm Mind, Raikou, Swords Dance, Kartana, he's brought pretty much variations of all of these before. Most of the time when he brings the Pokemon, they are the exact set that I mentioned to you. He, throughout the season, has been very heavy on bringing Swords Dance, Mega Gallade, and Calm Mind Raikou. Sometimes he's brought lefties, sometimes he's brought Life Orb, sometimes he's brought Z. With Cloyster, Kartana, and Raikou being his Z users, if I didn't mention that. He's brought Shadow Sneak a couple times, so I am expecting that for Lottie. I'm expecting it to be some alteration of to pick 3 of the 4 moves. Ice Punch, Poison Jab, Drain Punch, Shadow Sneak. I'm expecting 3 out of those 4 moves and Swords Dance. That is what I'm expecting his Gallade set to be. He has brought Support, Flamethrower, Heatran pretty much every week. Usually Stealth Rocks, a status, Earth Power, and Flamethrower. He's pretty much brought those moves on Heatran in pretty much every game I've seen. He's brought mostly Hazard Removal status, Pivot Rotom. Whenever he's brought Roserade, I've seen it be a Spike Stacker, which of course spikes and Toxic Spike support for his heavy setup is very nice. I've seen him bring Cloyster only a few times, but I'm still very, very wary of it. Because looking at my team, if he sets up a Shell Smash, I could just lose on the spot. Like, Celesteela gets bopped, Nidoqueen gets bopped, Zydog gets destroyed. Rotom gone, Rapidash gone, Megakang potentially can live a hit, but it can't OHKO it back. Lottie's gone, Tyranitar's gone, Selgor and Sableye are both gone. Sableye may be able to get off a Prankster Will-O-Wisp, but it will not be able to outstall Cloyster, especially if he just decides at any point to set up another Shell Smash. So, yeah, Cloyster is a big threat. Slurpuff is another huge threat to my team. Celesteela is really the only way I stop myself from instantly losing to it. Spiritomb could be a very annoying pivot for him, and I would have to play around it, as it could be a potential Spadef user to pursue my Latias. It could be potential Fizdef to stop Mega Kang from plowing through him. Sword Dance Mega Gallade, just an overall fantastic mon and great wall breaker. Gliscor, very, very annoying to break down. It can just sit in on my Celesteela. It can be Eevee to be faster than my Nidoqueen. It is the only thing on his team that takes Choice Band 1,000 arrows from Zydog. Like, the only thing that doesn't get 2-hit KO'd by it. Kartana, realistically, Kartana isn't the biggest threat. It could be his only potential thing that he'd want to Choice Scarf. And I'm not too worried about that. Raikou, Calm Mind Raikou, another huge threat to this team. I'm not I feel like he'd be wary about that, considering I do have a Nidoqueen, and Nidoqueen is one of the better answers to Raikou, and I have seen people bring Spadef Pyapa Berry to live a +1 Z extrasensory, so he might be wary of me bringing that set, as Nidoqueen is one of the best natural answers to Raikou, and Armaldo, I'm not expecting Armaldo, I'm just really not. So those are the sets that can be super annoying to us. Just upon team preview, Primarina is annoying for him to break down. He really only has Roserade to take care of it. Zygarde, he hates switching into 1,000 arrows. He hates switching into Mega Kang. And Lottie could just be overall annoying. That's really all I'm seeing, and I will need to look over my mon to see what I can bring to help deal with all of his setup offense and just stop myself from instantly losing to it. So, we will see you in the team builder and see what I came up with. Alright, after that little cut, we are back to the team that I brought to this match. As you see, the first 4 mons are going to be available to you right now. We are bringing, I'll explain the sets though first. We are bringing Latias, Psychic, Earthquake, Defog, Recover. Earthquake deals with both Raikou and Heatran. And one thing I do want with Heatran is, even though Earthquake is doing around 36 to 43, sorry about that. Even with Lottie's very minimal attack, it will, at the very least, pop a Shuka Berry and still potentially 3-KO Heatran. And if I do pop a Shuka Berry on Heatran, that makes the end game incredibly easy for me. Defog and Recover just allow me to come in on Roserade pretty much every time, unless he's Sleep Powder, and Sleep Powder would be annoying, but that's just something I'll need to calculate for if it does happen. Psychic with Psychium Z hits everything, and with this special attack investment, I OHKO both Slurpuff and Cloyster, 2 things that he may potentially... Lottie, he might EV himself to be able to just set up and get a Citrus Berry on Lottie, and then Belly Drum and Sweep Me. He cannot do that with Psychium Z. Even if he is max HP, he will not be allowed to set up on me. It will put him out of range of where a berry... He will live if he is max HP Slurpuff, but the berry will not put him in a range where he can Belly Drum, and if he is bringing webs to this match, he will have to decide between webs or keeping his Slurpuff, or beating my Lottie, as I will knock him out with the next Psychic, and Lottie can still defog on a fair amount of his team. So Lottie is just a very good natural pivot into things like Raikou and Roserade. And while I am expecting him to have Shadow Ball for Lottie, if he doesn't bring Shadow Ball, I can potentially beat a Calm Mind Raikou, or at least put it into range where I could just come in with my next member, my Zygarde, and hit him with a Choice Band at Extreme Speed, not needing to risk the Speed tie. And then we come to Zygarde. 1000 Arrows Outrage, Extreme Speed, Hidden Power Fire, except for Hidden Power Fire. Very standard Zydog, outspeeds everything except for Raikou, which it speed ties with. If he's not bringing Shuka-Berry, it OHKOs Raikou, OHKOs Heatran, OHKOs non-max HP, non-max defense Rotom, OHKOs Roserade, 2-hit KOs, pretty much most variants of Cloyster. It just doesn't allow anything to come in for free. After a little bit of chip, gets rid of Gallade. This entire team is just... It's just about not letting him sweep me with any of his mons. And Zydog is one of those things that if Gliscor comes down, he's getting 2-hit KO'd. Or OHKO'd on every single member of his team. If Gliscor is down, and if he doesn't bring max HP, max defense Spiritomb, something is dying when I click a move with Zygarde. And if I am okay with sacking Zygarde, I can click Outrage to just get rid of Gliscor, because it will be chunking Gliscor to the point where it can't come in. And while I don't have rocks on this team to get the 12% to maybe guarantee it in range of 2 Choice Banded Outrages, I didn't have room to put rocks on this team because my 2 rockers, Nidoqueen and Tyranitar, I deemed were a bit too easy for him to break down with other Pokemon, and I just figured the other mons would be a bit more necessary, so that is why I brought them. Hidden Power Fire, exclusively for Kartana. It OHKOs Kartana. Well, it does 96 min, but it basically puts Kartana in a place where it's never going to set up with me. Oh, and also Psychium Z OHKOs Kartana. So, that too. That's another reason why I brought it. Then we come to Kabia Berry Primarina. I think Kabia Berry Max HP, Max Defense Primarina is necessary in this match. This is my only way to stop myself to immediately losing to a Shell Smash Cloyster. I have to be Max HP, Max Defense, as it is the only way I live a +2 Z Explosion from Cloyster. I have seen him bring Z Explosion in the past, as it is Cloyster's strongest nuking move. That's not Z Hydro Pump, and Z Hydro Pump won't do anything to Primarina. So if he wants to bring a Z move to break through Primarina, he's going to bring Z Explosion. And if he wants to try and break through Primarina regularly with a regular move, he's going to bring Poison Jab, or maybe even Z Poison Jab, and with Kabia Berry, I live that too. I live a +2 Z Poison Jab easily. Like, incredibly easily. Moonblast and Scald, just dual stab, very hard for him to switch into. Encore is there to, if I don't need Primarina anymore and he brings in Raikou, I can Encore him into Calm Mind if he tries to set up on me, and then I can go Zydog the next turn and make him pick one. And Ice Beam is just there to basically get an OHKO on Gliscor, to hit Roserade for more damage coming in, and to hit Kartana for more damage coming in. So, yeah, Ice Beam is just there as just a 4th move. I didn't really need another 4th move, so I just felt like it would be nice to have something to hit them. Then we have Max HP, Max Defense Sableye. This is my Gallade check. Rocky Helmet. Foul Play, Willow, Recover Taunt. Standard set. It's really the best answer I have to Mega Gallade, because +2 Mega Gallade can legitimately sweep my team if I'm not careful. Rocky Helmet means that I don't need to care if he's a substitute. If he's a substitute Gallade, if he gets behind a substitute, I'll just taunt him, and then he'll have to just repeatedly bash himself into my Rocky helmet, and he'll be losing HP as I can just recover back up and stuff. So I will get out of that encounter very easily, while he will not. And even if he's for some reason taunt Mega Gallade, I think he gets taunt, I will still beat him before he beats me with Foul Play. So that's just why Sableye is here. Really only here for Mega Gallade. If for some reason he doesn't bring Mega Gallade or Cloyster, and I haven't been seeing Cloyster in a lot of my mocks, I can play a lot more recklessly with both Sableye and Primarina, which is nice. And finally, we get Mega Kangaskhan, Fake Out, Ice Punch, Return, Earthquake. Fake Out is just there for priority should I need it. Ice Punch is there to get tremendous damage off to Gliscor to the point where he can't switch in on any of my Pokemon. Return, just stab. And Earthquake is there to just blow back Heatran and Raikou. Yeah, pretty much. Standard Mega Kangaskhan. 184 HP allows me to live a +2 Icicle Spear from Adamant Cloyster, I believe. And I can hit it with a Fake Out plus Return, which will put it into range of Bandit Extreme Speed for sure. Unless he's running like max HP, max defense Cloyster. In which case, he's really not breaking through Primarina. So, yeah, that's Kangaskhan. And finally, we come to my favorite set I have brought probably all season. I got a plan, John. Celesteela. Autotomize, Earthquake, Giga Drain, Air Slash. If I at any point Autotomize up, it could just be GG right there. He has nothing to switch into this, and it's coverage. Earthquake blows back Raikou and Heatran, especially if I get a weakness policy boost. Giga Drain and Air Slash hit everything else. Like, Giga Drain at +2 will not Oko a Spideferotum, but if his best move to hit me is Volt Switch, he will be doing around like 40%. And I just get all of that back. And as he has brought Flamethrower Heatran pretty much every single time he's brought it. If he is not running special attack investment, if it's just a neutral Flamethrower, I will live that and autotomize up on that. And I potentially do not even need a weakness policy boost to sweep him. I can basically do the same thing by just beast boosting up on him. I only put 32 plus speed down speed Raikou, not outspeeding any Scarfers. He rarely brings Scarfers. I'm not expecting one. I am expecting this. If all else fails, this could just win if I bring it in when his entire team is chipped. I either can just straight sweep if I get a weakness policy boost, or just autotomize up if everything's chipped and just win from there. And this Spadef, okay, you want to know something ridiculous? With going this much Spadef, I guarantee live a Life Orb Raikou's Thunderbolt. Guaranteed. No HP. This much Spadef. Guaranteed live it. Every single time. And I just autotomize up and start sweeping. Granted, that will put me in range of Mega Gallade's Shadow Sneak, but if Mega Gallade's gone or I determine it doesn't have Shadow Sneak, it just starts sweeping from there anyway. So, yeah. Really proud of this team. I think it can go well. I think we've covered pretty much every base I can with this team. I just need to play it right. And, well, let's do this. So, here is the battle. Here is the team preview. We have of course, 6-mon Eyebrow. He did bring Cloyster and Slurpuff, so that could be an issue should things get that way. He did bring Rotom as a pivot. From my mocks, I'm expecting this to be Rocky Helmet. If he does bring something like a Stray Choice Scarf, I want to scout for that immediately, just to make sure I don't get Scarf HP Iced. I don't think he would, but I do want to scout for it. He's probably bringing something along the likes of maybe Sash Roserade or just a Life Orb Roserade. I believe I've seen Life Orb come once or twice. And then he brought Gallade and Raikou, which I'm expecting to be Calm Mind and Swords Dance respectively. He did not bring Heatran, or Spiritomb, or Gliscor, which really means I do not need to play against a defensive matchup. He just went the very hyper-offense route, and I feel like I can deal with that. I feel like my team is very, very specifically good for that sort of playstyle in particular. It was the mocks that were giving me a more defensive matchup that were giving me trouble, and I was doing a lot better against the offensive matchups. So, either way, we are going to lead off. I have led off with my Mega Kangaskhan as he leads Rotom. Now, I am going to turn one. Oh, by the way, this is being recorded on April 1st, so there's going to randomly be some like weird ways of things being shown, not just, I got hurt by a Rocky Helmet. It's like Abigail's Kangaskhan glows, no longer a child. That means that, just the weird April Fool's Day way of saying Mega Kang. Okay, so I'm going to go right for the fake out. Again, I want to scout just to make sure this isn't a Scarf Rotom, because that means if I get Zydog in on Rotom later, then it is just a free kill, and I don't need to worry about getting Scarf HP Ice, because he just dies to Zygarde. It's just like every time this is in, except for Cloyster, this gets a kill. So I'm going to click it. He does turn out to be defensive Rocky Helmet, which is fine. I get a 4 damage on this and still have a hit from Raikou later. I'm going to go straight into my Laius. He clicks Volt Switch. He is going to go into Slurpuff, and I'm just going to click Psyche MZ. I'm just going to click Psyche MZ, and it is... Nope. Psyche MZ, like I said earlier, if he is not a max HP Slurpuff, this just keels over and dies. If he is, it puts him out of Belly Drum range. I may have to deal with Sticky Webs, but like I said, I can defog on pretty much everything that is not Cloyster, Gallade, or Raikou. I will have chances to defog on Rotom and Roserade later, because I have found out that Rotom is not Scarfed, and I would assume Roserade isn't Scarfed either. I can live a Play Rough pretty much every time. He would need an extremely high roll to kill me from max attack. So I'm just going to click Psyche MZ, and I crit him. It did turn out he was max HP. By crit, sure, that's what it said. He was max HP, so in that way the crit did matter. It would have made things a bit more difficult for me, as I would be forced to take damage on Latias and couldn't come in on Roserade later. I do think that I would still be at an advantage in the long run, but I will not say that crit didn't matter, and it could have allowed him to get webs up, which meant my Zygarde would be neutered. I would not outspeed really anything on the team except Rotom, so it would minimize the impact that Zygarde would have on the match if I did not get a defog off, but that is just how it goes. He goes into Gallade. I'm just going to go straight into my Sableye. He clicks Ice Punch. We see that it does not really do anything, and I will get Rocky Helmet damage off on this, and I will just go, and I'm just going to recover up, keep this healthy for later. I can now bring Lottie in because it's healthy. He clicks Leech Seed, and I'm just going to click Psychic. He has no Psychic resists. And yeah, this is where it does kind of come into play, because Lottie can now just get rid of this Rotom, and he would have been able to keep Rotom for later to be an annoyance to my Mega Kang. But But I guess that's just how it goes. I get to get another kill with Lottie. He goes into Raikou. I can't let this thing start setting up. I'm just going to click Earthquake to get rid of potential Shuka Berry. If it's there, he's going to knock me out with a Shadow Ball. I am going to go to my Mega Kang. And then I'm going to double into... I doubled into... Why did I double into Zygarde? What was I predicting? Was it Gallade? I don't know why I doubled into Zygarde, but either way. Because I could have just gotten a kill with that. But either way, I'm just going to click 1,000 Arrows. He's going to go into Cloyster. This is exactly why Primarina's here. He's going to go for Shell Smash. As long as he does not crit me here, we are fine. He's going to go for Poison Jab. And I get the Kabia Berry. Knock it out with a Moonblast. And his really only way of breaking through me is now gone. I'm going to click Encore here, as Primarina has done its job. I can now go into Mega Kang. For some reason, I click Return instead of Earthquake, but it won't matter. I can go into Zygarde after and click Extreme Speed. Now, I do a bit of a choke after this thing does go down to the Extreme Speed, in that I go hard Sableye. I didn't need to do that because realistically I was just giving him a chance to freeze me. And if he did freeze me, that could have sealed the game in his favor. I didn't have to do that, but he's going to go for the SD, and I'm just going to foul play and knock him out. So we are going to win this playoff game. GG to Reconjack. That crit on Slurpup definitely sucked. I didn't even get to use my Celesteela that I still felt like could have just won in the late game, especially against this team in particular, because he didn't really have a good way to stop it. But yeah, that's just how it goes, I guess. I feel like my team was very well prepared for pretty much everything he threw at me in this game. There really wasn't anything he could do to stop it. I feel like my team defensively just checked everything that he brought. Like, I was preparing myself for a match going up against hyper setup offense. And that is what he brought, and I was able to shut it down. That's just how it went. So, we are going to be facing the winner of Ice Demon Gray, who is #1 in the league, and Nader / Not a Please. We did end up beating Nader in the regular season. In the seasonal recap, I'm not sure if I will show the game I had against Nader, just because I wouldn't want to reveal my team in case I go and face him in playoffs. So that week where I did play him, I will likely cut it from the video and just tell you the result, and keep my opinions about the matchup and the team that I brought, and even the strategies I used during the actual game. I'm just going to keep that relatively secret. So GG Recon, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to semifinals. Oh boy. Fun fact, if we make finals, no matter what else happens, if we make finals, we're in Mega B next season. That would be pretty neat.